bunch of people up there. What are they doing? Let's go check it out. Hey, you! Yes, you blithering idiot! What are you doing dragging your feet for? Waiting for us to get old? Why in the blazes aren't all these boxes already on the ship? No, boss. It's just... these boxes are way too heavy. If we lug them all up, I think the ship might... Might what? This is treasure here. Treasure! You gonna just leave profit on the ground like that? But if we load everything on board, plus ourselves, I don't think the boat can hold all that weight. Ha! That's an easy one. If we just leave a couple of you here on the island, we can bring all the treasure back, now can't we? Ooh, a cunning plan, boss. Wait, I'm one of the ones you're taking with you, right? I don't want to get captured by those golems. You see what happens to anyone they catch. Then stop yapping and start moving. If the Dark Lord's lackeys catch up, we're all done for. Dark Lord's lackeys? Are they putting on some kind of show? Wait, boss. There's people over there. Traveler, why don't we go ask them? Oi, you! Yeah, you! The big'um and the tiny thing! What are you skulking over there for? Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Hey, we're not doing anything wrong over here, so what are you acting all nervous for? Anyway, we should talk to them first. From the looks of you, you must be foreigners. And here I thought you were minions of the Dark Lord Remus. This is Traveler, and Paimon's Paimon. And you're right, we're travelers. Oh, but who's this Dark Lord Remus you mentioned? Has he finished playing his part already? You don't even know who the Dark Lord is? Alright, I get it. I suppose it's up to me to educate you, oh ignorant outlanders. As you know, this was once a peaceful town. In those days, it was not yet named Petrichor. We Fontainians lived here in peace and safety until the golem armies of the Dark Lord Remus came. He was an awful tyrant, one who claimed to be the ruler of all waters. His forces had already obliterated countless towns and cities before arriving at ours. He took our lands, polluted the sources of pure water, and even tried to use music to tempt us. They raised high bell towers and fortresses, and the Dark Lord's fell melody enslaved our kin. But we, Fontainians free, rejected his rule. Thus did I and the warriors under my command march to war all across the land. Ooh. Nice world building. Very detailed. And then? What happened next? How did you defeat the Dark Lord? The Dark Lord's golems are each mighty beyond measure. How could we be their match? Still, we had the aid of Estee, the quick-witted this time. And with his aid, we infiltrated the Dark Lord's fell keep and reclaimed the treasures he and his minions plundered from us Fontainians. Like the boss said, what is it we're doing again? Oh yeah, disrupting the special military maneuvers being conducted by the Dark Lord's regions. Totally a brilliant plan. When does this Dark Lord take the stage? Ha! Do you think we'd still be lugging treasure if he showed up? Huh. Like as not, we'd all been turned into golems already, just like Estee probably was. Estee the Pitiful, now more like it. Whoa, he totally helped you, and you guys just left him behind and ran away. Are you guys sure you aren't the baddies? Baddies don't get to be the protagonist. What do you mean, protagonist? Take the stage? Oi. From where I'm standing, it's looking like you're really his minions, just dressed up as foreigners. I can tell from all your blabbering on about performances and plays. Eh? You mean you guys aren't putting on a performance? So you won't fess up until we char you first, eh? Let's get 'em, boys. The thieves who were beaten so badly they couldn't spare even a thought for the treasures fled on their boat. There they go, huh? Guess they weren't acting after all. But what was the treasure they were talking about? Dark Lord this, Dark Lord's keep that? No way any of that's real. Why don't we have a look at the treasure? But we don't know where this stuff came from. Paimon expressing disinterest in treasure? Say it isn't so. Paimon's just worried that... What if... Well, just in case there's some kind of evil Dark Lordy trap in it. Guess there's no dissuading you, but please be careful, okay? And as it so happens, there were no traps in the container of the evil Dark Lordy variety, or otherwise. But there was no valuable treasure within either. Within was naught but heavy shards of shattered stone. Paimon knew they were just a bunch of frauds. There's no treasure at all. Or is this shabby excuse for a statue some kind of priceless artifact? Let's go to Petrichor and ask around. Maybe it's some kind of landmark or lucky mascot or something. As for these treasures, we... Hey, traveler, you... How unforgettable the Hortus Yorgetus, overflowing with fruit and flower. How grand and glorious says Erezum. How marvelous the melodies drifting through Collegium Fanascarum. O fate, why not halt at this moment? Imperator. Dream? You're finally awake, Imperator. This day is one of great import, the day when we shall sound the great symphony, Phobos. There is yet time before the ritual, Imperator, but we should set out. I seem to have had a dream. A dream, Imperator? I did not know that gods could dream. In that case, what did you dream of? The great plains beyond the north wind, the silver tree beyond the frozen soil? Or did you see that golden future that you once showed me? I saw the sea swallowing the earth. The children of white stone and brass sinking. The collapse of all that was once radiant. That prophecy, then, Imperator, it is precisely to prevent it from happening, to fight against the inevitable fate that we are here today. Just as you said, we have paid much for it, but once we are free of fate's shackles, those sacrifices shall not have been in vain. In this have I had faith ever since I accepted this body and become a Rumarian. Apologies, Imperator. Forgive my lack of manners. In any case, please, come with me. Though you bestowed undying bodies upon the people, allowing humanity to fear the tides to the depths nevermore, our souls are still bound by the shackles of Fortuna. The burden of fate is not something mortal souls can bear, but Phobos shall weave the path of fate on our behalf, leading us forward on the path of justice. The melody of the symphony will flow through the waterways to the high sea, and soon Rumeria, no, all humanity will be freed from the unconscionable tyranny of fate and welcome an eternal utopian future. And then, one day, the people will no longer need the guidance of Phobos, and all will be able to play their own symphony. Remus? Remus. Remus, you once said that you would create a future free from shackles, a divine destiny. Yet, your realm now lies violently shattered, and the chasm you tried to bridge has grown deeper still. The immortal race you created and the people of the waters are slaughtering one another. And now, this soul-called Eternal City too faces imminent collapse. You cannot control your own creation. The symphony has brought neither justice nor happiness, but instead has become the source of all sin. Though their flesh and blood have been sundered from water and soil, the lost souls guide them upon the path of inevitable death nonetheless. The curse of Fortuna is upon your people, and upon you. Do you still remember our promise? This is our last resort, as long as the symphony is played. Is this the only way you usurper lords of humanity know to atone after bringing things to ruination? Still, your resolve, at least, does not shame your kingly crown. And a promise was made, indeed. Therefore, allow me to bear witness to your end. O king cursed by fate, drown thyself in song, wine and feast, for the day of judgment has not yet come. Traveler, please, wake up. Just now. You scared me to death, Traveler. You suddenly just completely stopped moving and started staring at the statue, like you were a statue yourself. Paimon thought you had been turned to stone by the Dark Lord's evil curse. I think I had a strange daydream. There isn't really a curse, is there? Traveler, are you okay? I'm fine. Sorry for making you worry. As long as you're not hurt. Yeah, we should definitely go to Petrichor first. This place feels so deserted. Everyone looks so weird. Welcome, travelers, O transversers of dreamscapes. I am the bell ringer at the intersection clock tower, the guide that welcomes travelers to the Eternal City. Oh joy, more world building, hey? Could he be part of the same troupe as those thieves from before? Leaving that aside for now, all the townspeople we ran into on the way over were acting really weird. Do you know what that's about? Why? Everyone has gone to Machimos already. I imagine that they now dwell under the protection of the Sabatos. Whoa, so in addition to the Dark Lord Remus, now we've got a Sabatos? This is getting more complicated by the minute. Dark Lord Remus, It would appear that in your journeys you have crossed paths with those uncouth barbarians. That is indeed a blasphemous title with which they besmirched the Sabatos Remus, our mighty imperator. Oh, so they're both the same Remus. They are the same person, after all. But it is of no consequence. The Sabatos may not be defined by the narrow notions of tribal mob. Those despicable insects may speak slander as they wish, but the wise, inspired by his noblest ideals, will yet come forth in their droves. When the bell of eternity tolls, all that has come to pass shall be erased, and all will be reborn, regardless of who they are or where they are from. Be grateful and rejoice. Praise be. What should we do, traveler? This person sure seems lucid, but the stuff he's spouting is all kinds of whack. You think we got a sleepwalker here? Maybe he's dreaming. Do you name me a dreamer? The symptoms do match. Dreaming. I certainly... Hey, you... Uh-oh, he's out cold. Travelers from outside, halt. Excellent. You two look completely mentally sound. Finally, a normal person. Seriously, what's going on in this town? Before that, let's get this gentleman somewhere safe. Can't be leaving him here lying, can we? He'll catch a cold. Though the risk of catching a cold may not be the most important thing right now, you still work together with the normal person to move the incoherent, rambling bell ringer onto a nearby bench. Anyway, allow me to reintroduce myself. Call me Estee. I'm a member of the town's Daydream Club. I'm the only member present right now, though. Paimon's Paimon, and he's Traveler. We're... passing adventurers. Adventurers, you say? You're not here to look for that castle or whatever, are you? Wait, you introduced yourself as Estee. We've heard that name before. Ah, I see you escaped with your life. Fabulous. Huh? What? So, you've also... No, we're wide awake, trust us. We just don't get why everyone's saying all sorts of crazy things. You tell Estee about how you met and drove the bandits who saw the shattered stones as treasures away outside town. Oh, it's them. Where to begin? The legend of the Fated Castle has never been a secret. Adventurers just like them come by looking for it every once in a while. And whether it's because the impression the name Golden Troop conjures up is nothing more than poetic imagery, or because the castle was built millennia ago, it's more likely than not that nothing of value remains there now. But would they ever listen? Of course not. No sooner had I brought them over to the ruins in the mountains than they began destroying statues and stuffing them into boxes like people possessed. I could not stop them alone, so I went back to town to get help. I never imagined I'd find nothing but dazed stares and mad ramblings all around. It was like everyone had fallen under some hypnotic spell. The Daydream Club has researched hypnosis before, but something like this is far, far beyond our capabilities. My hypothesis is that something abnormal has occurred within the ruins, according to the records. Actually, why are we the only ones not affected? Interesting. Most interesting. Perhaps we can find a solution in the ruins. Why don't you wait here, Estee? Leave the adventuring to us. If you come too, you might get turned into a golem. Is that your cat, Estee? It's so cute. No, though the fellow who studied hypnotism would say that they are creatures with keen senses. How odd. That, collar. Pendant? I could swear I've seen that accessory before. It ran off. Anyway, ignoring the cat question for now, we should still go to the ruins first and have a look. Say, Estee, how can we get there? The ruins? The mountain behind town. Just so happens to be the exact direction the cat ran off in. And it's time we set off. Things are pretty murky right now. Take extra care. You too, alright? We'll be right back. Don't you worry. I'm counting on you, then. How could something like this happen? I can't just leave everyone else in town to fend for themselves, or I'd be up a gander back to the ruins to investigate. Still, it's a good thing I ran into you. Please, be extra careful. Whoa, the statue can move! Not bad, not bad. Your valor would not know shame, even should it stand in the company of the Marichose hunters of old. It's a talking animal. We've seen a whole lot of strange things on our journey. Even so, a glowing talking cat. Paimon supposes it still makes the rare list. One such as I shall not dwell on being called a strange thing. O chosen champions, Traveler and Paimon, the time has come for the true heroes such as ye to step forth. Come with me unto the ancient kingdom of the deep seas. We must still the chaotic symphony if we are to save the lost souls. Is this also part of the world building too? Could it be like one of the Yai publishing house's novels? The one with the "he was our companion in the last life, but only he inherited the memories" kind of plot? Speaking of, just who are you? Must I start from the beginning? Very well. Oranides Oranopolis. My name, a spirit keeper of the ancient realm. Or what, Denise? Of the where now? What a tongue twister. Paimon's just gonna call you Ose for short. That's close enough, right? What do you think? Meow? 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 It appears that I cannot command this body as I wish, to the extent that bestial behaviors may even overbear me from time to time. If, from the beginning, I could only have. As the two of you can see, the boundaries between past and present have begun to blur, thanks to the influence of the chaotic symphony. It is for this reason that I too have awoken. For now, the affected area is yet small. The inhabitants of Petrichor have had their souls taken away. They exist in that maddened, dreamlike state because the symphony has temporarily granted them identities and memories to fill the void left behind. It is as if a vessel filled with pure water has had its contents replaced with wondrous wine. An apt description, considering that those are memories of ancient histories gifted by the symphony. Let Paimon think. So what you're saying is that the townspeople of Petrichor have had their souls stolen, and then their bodies have been possessed. Oh, that sounds super scary. You said that the affected area isn't very large yet? That is correct, traveler. Of course, eventually even the court of Fontaine will be consumed if the chosen hero cannot restore harmony to the chaotic melody. No choice but to take a look. Yeah, alright then, Osi, lead the way. Thank you so much. The road to the ancient realm lies beneath this spring you see before you. I have caused a seal on the hidden path to manifest. Next, I shall activate the device that maintains the seal. There we go. Now then, help me retrieve the harp strings, and I shall thus be able to break the seal and open the way. Now then, let us go unto the fated Castellum of Gold. A fated golden cast. Estelle mentioned something about the legend of the fated castle too, right? Are we talking about these ruins? Nay, nay. These are but the scraps on the surface. The true castle lies deeper underwater. You sure do know much more than the cats in town, huh, Osi? You compare me to the cats in town? Such. Follow closely and try not to get lost then. Whoa, he just jumped down. Can cats swim? Huh? Paimon didn't think there'd be such a huge space down below. Guess you do know your stuff, Osi. This is but the tip of the iceberg. Once an entire nation and the land upon which it was built sank beneath the waves, and my mission is to prevent that which has sunk from resurfacing. Or so I believed. I really wish I had a reliable guide. In that case, leave the guiding to Paimon. Well, that's what Paimon would like to say anyway. Anyway, we are the sole arbiters of whether the souls of the townfolk can safely return to their bodies or not, so eyes up now. The fated castle is just through that great gate. Let us continue onward. Whoa, how are you so fast, Osi? I am a cat after all, so appearing and disappearing with utmost alacrity is to be expected. It is you, Paimon, who must fly faster. Do not let those trifling things outside the window interfere with our relentless march forward. We have work to do. Whoa, Paimon bets a lot of people can live in a huge castle like this. But of course, and not just people either. Hey, there you go again saying creepy stuff with a straight face. Oh, fret not. Surely heroes such as yourselves would dispatch any hidden ghost or phantoms without breaking a sweat. And what is this? What an exquisite box! Seems like a music box of some kind. Still, it doesn't seem to fit in too well with its surroundings. Good eye. This is indeed a music box, but just as I have knowledge beyond ordinary cats, this music box has functions beyond most others. What, can it speak to? That did not cross my mind. Regrettably, it does not have such a function. For now, at least. Anyway, even those who lack any music knowledge can freely operate the power of the symphony using this box. We will have use of it later, I am sure. Huh? But isn't it because this symphony has gone all wacky that all the townsfolk turned into whatever they are now? So what if Traveler presses the wrong button or something? What sort of clumsy clod do you take me for, Paimon? Paimon's just thinking about the worst-case scenario. Maybe Ase might jump out from a corner and scare you. One of those moving statues might start walking around, or maybe traps might spring out from the ground and the walls. Any of those could happen, right? Peace now. You need not be so fretful. The symphony was mighty, beautiful, and glorious once, an existence that shouldered golden ideals. That it sows chaos upon the surface is a mere mishap of misalignment, the result of evildoers misusing great, glorious power. But were it Traveler, surely he would wield its power correctly. That's quite a lot of trust you're putting in us. It might be more accurate to say that I have no other option. I am a mere cat at present, after all. Should I wish to make use of the music box myself, it might prove somewhat difficult. We have spoken that much, to put things to the test. Remember the strings we put from the harp in the ruins? These were, in truth, the scores on which the symphony was recorded. As long as you place the score into the music box, the box shall play its tune all on its own. Ooh, that's a pretty happy tune. Paimon's feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. It seems that this box still functions. Well now, are we not safe? Wait, so you weren't even sure if it would work or not? Not completely. One cannot judge a box by its cover. Do you not concur? Paimon gets the feeling that you're not talking about the box at all. But never mind that. What should we do now? The chaotic symphony must be here. If we can locate it, we can retrieve the souls that have been taken from the townsfolk. Then let's have a look around for starters. A reasonable judgment. If memory serves, this castle has a great many strange rooms. Perhaps they are worth investigating first. Also, the castle's central hall plays host to a mysterious stage, though no more plays shall ever be performed there. It was once an entrance to a place deeper underwater still, where the power of the symphony yet lingers. We must go and check for any further anomalies there. Deeper still? Indeed. I wonder what awaits us there. Hey, now's not the time to leave us hanging, OC. You're a surprisingly petty one, huh? Still, before the riddle may be solved, we must first find the clues that await us in the castle. Come, let us away. Wow! That strange fish was so huge. Good thing it didn't come for us. Is this the stage you spoke of earlier, OC? And are Paimon's eyes deceiving her, or is the mural on top still moving? It's kinda spooky. That terrifying power couldn't be escaping from here, could it, OC? Hey, OC, OC, are you spacing out? Well? My apologies. I was distracted for a moment. Did you once perform on this stage? Is that why you're feeling, nostalgic or something like that? Perhaps you were an audience member. Oh, good point. I might have, or I might not. It was all in the past either way. Utterly irrelevant. What matters now is the scent of discord I smell in the air, as though some presence, one that makes me uneasy, once visited this place. I fear that specifics may only be ascertained once we have performed the score here. There's one here too? Paimon didn't notice. Well, you may have seen scores shaped like strings, but have you not seen those shaped like murals? One such as before you. Oh, so the pictures are moving because it's actually a score? Indeed. Now, let me think. To stage a performance, we must first need to place the blank score in here. We should be able to find one here in the castle. It's that strange, shiny fish again. Feels like it's been following us from outside all this time. How weird. Paimon, have you witnessed so little of the world as to find such things strange? Are we not underwater? Is it not ordinary to see all manner of fish about? But this big guy looks anything but ordinary. And this voice, I've heard it before. Seriously? You mean from the dream you had before? This part of the sea outside is like the castle. It belongs to the past. It is something that should have been forgotten. If one ceaselessly calls out to a monster that has been blotted from memory, they might yet jump out and cause trouble. It is wise to be cautious. It is for the best if we simply treat it as an ordinary fish. You make everything sound so scary, OC. Are you just trying to creep us out or something? I simply mean to avoid unnecessary complications. After all, our top priority is to retrieve the surface dwellers' souls, no? It just so happens there's a blank score before us. We simply need to use the music box to tune the auto-harmonic reed pipes on either side, and we can obtain it. Give it a go. Not only do we have the same hardy skin, but in our veins flows the same divine essence. We share the same wisdom and melody, the same will. Whoa, whoa, someone's coming out of the Merle. It has been too long, dear friend. How many years since that day? 500? Thousands? Still, time matters not to us at all. You may be in this small body now, but I recognized you in an instant. Well, have you tired of battle and decided to take up rat catching as a new hobby? It's you. And what is he exactly? A monster? A ghost? Or could he be the real Dark Lord? Dark Lord. Pah! Barbarians remain barbarians, I see. Ignorant even of their own ignorance. Boethius of Rumeria I am. Foremost, Harmost of Phobos. You need not introduce yourselves. I have no interest in the titles peddled by primitives. You know this rude fella, OC? I do not deny it, but... Need you be so formal, Cassador? Do our years of service under our Sabatos, our God King, matter so little to you? The past is past. I do not know how you, whose soul has long been shattered, have manifested, but it seems that the chaotic symphony is your doing, and none other. Cease. Return the souls of those who live in the present, and go back to the shadow beneath the deep waters, to where you belong. This is my final warning to you. Oh, and what then? Will you continue wearing your mask of hypocrisy, traitor? Will you shut your eyes and ears for another millennium? But you have noticed, haven't you? Why my melody would break its bonds at this time and infect the present? Why my strength has given me the might to open the gate to the deep waters, allowing me to manifest? The power of the sea surges, Cassador. The return of Phobos is imminent. Phobos. Yes, indeed. Over these thousands of years, I have already bound my soul to the shattered Phobos. The omniscient enigma, the great power, is about to finally descend once again. And is this not the wish that we once failed to accomplish? To repeat the past is to give the ancient tragedy an encore, nor have I ever wanted to sacrifice innocent lives. Is that so? Well, not that it matters, Cassador. The world you have defended is coming apart at the seams. The people of bygone times you see before you shall return to their rightful places. Fontaine's existence is a mistake, one we shall correct. When the oceans swallow it, Rumeria shall rise above the sea once again, and its light shall shine over the land. How can you call it a mistake? You are the mistaken one. We should have assimilated into this new nation thousands of years ago, but it was you who warped them into puppets of ancient hate. Whether that Phobos matter is true or false, as long as my will has not dissipated, your schemes will not succeed. Do you mean to say, then, that we should abandon our home as Rumerians and degenerate into mere base insects? How could I ever allow my kin to return to those bags of deflaying Kesh and become slaves to fate once more? It seems that the millennia has not led you to accept Rumeria's downfall. If anything, you've grown more obstinate still. Perhaps it is our stubbornness alone that we are quite similar. I thought that the long years would have rendered you willing to once more stand by our side. You betrayed the tribe that birthed you, and you betrayed Rumeria. You may have become the Golden Hunter, but you cannot remove the brand of the Sabotage that marks you still. You will always be a Rumerian. Rumerians have long ceased to exist, save in your delusions. The world of old has passed away. Of course. Or so it was meant to be. But now the border between past and present has faded. If you insist on becoming the enemy of our ancient realm and sealing me once more in a cage buried beneath the waves, and those Fontainians you wish to protect, yes, all of Petrichor shall be buried as one. Huh? No way! We won't let that happen. That is not up to you, insolent savage. When that time comes, your lowly flesh will be rendered as dust, but your souls will join with ours and take the next step of evolution. We shall bestow upon you eternal, resilient bodies that you may never again suffer mortal pain. Should you have words of gratitude, I will hear them. You've got to be kidding me. That's not something we'd be thankful for at all. Just like those puppets who danced at your performance, those pitiful slaves and servants, those poor children, everything was stripped from them, and you still speak with such conviction. All things have their price. Narrow personal opinions are but refused to be discarded by a higher class of beings such as I. Besides, as I see it, they are ideal form of humanity, adhering unerringly to perfect order. You're absolutely nuts, and despicable too. Despicable? And what would you call what Cassador did to us thousands of years ago, then? By comparison, this is nothing. But patience. We should have a good, long talk. But not here, no. We shall speak beneath the deep waters in the deepest bowels of our ancient realm, where everything began. The realm awakens, Cassador. You are the sole survivor of our fallen realm, and the sole Rumerian left with free will, and you have left us for far too long. You must return to us and listen to the lamentation and anger of the long years. Perhaps then you shall be more receptive to my symphony and to the arrangement of Phobos. I will await you in the royal city of Rumeria and Domus Aurea, where the Sabotage plied his melody. I will, of course, extend the appropriate hospitality to those souls from the present before your arrival. Should you still remain resolute when the time comes, their souls will naturally receive their release. And as for you, you are not part of Phobos's plan, and yet the Great Symphony shall in no wise cast out any audience. Do enjoy the passing prelude I have prepared for you. If Fortuna proves favorable, we shall meet again. Well, that shut him up. What do we do now, though? If we want to save the souls of the townspeople, we're gonna have to head to the Domus Aurea or whatever that super rude, super arrogant guy talked about, right? As you might recall, we weren't invited. Since when have we ever needed invitations to crash some bad guy's party? Oh, right. But from what he said, he seems to have known Osi for a long time. Said they worked for the Sabotage or whatever. We need to have a good talk before we go. Cassador, if you have anything you'd like to ask me, this time I shall tell you all I know. Tell us about Rumeria. That's where you and that rude fellow are both from, right, Osi? It seems to be an ancient nation. Very well. The story begins before the court of Fontaine as you know it was born. The Sabotage, Remus, founded a nation above the high sea that is Fontaine, and the ancestors of the present-day Fontainians named him the Dark Lord Remus in their terror. Before it sank, this body of water was part of the Great Fontaine Lake and the location where the capital Rumeria was sited. As such, these waters had the same properties as those of Fontaine. Wait, so we're actually in the ruins of Rumeria now? Indeed, but where the tale differs from commonly told history is... The people of Rumeria were not ordinary humans like the Fontainians. Rather, they were a new race. Their bodies were cast of stone, with ichor for blood. The Sabotage gave us such bodies in the hope that we could escape our prisons of rotting flesh and fate. His great vision was that we should all grasp the power of the symphony and thereby escape the shackles of Fortuna, becoming the masters of our own destiny. So, those stone statues we saw on the way here, those were your kin? Precisely so. I fear that they have long lost their free will, however, becoming mindless slaves, worse off by far than the humans of old, easily perishable though they are. Wait, in that case, why are you a cat? I am a cat, for now. And one's will and soul are more important than one's body, are they not? Regardless, it was the Sabotage who gave me new life. We once possessed all of the high sea, countless cities and palaces, flowers, flowing wine, and yet fate found us all the same. After returning from the deepest depths of the sea, the Sabotage used Ichor to create imperishable bodies for the people, and still the prophesied future did not change. Our God King believed that it was because human souls could not escape the gravity of fate, and so he wrote the symphony, a music that could weave destiny. He believed that through this he had found a way to resist fate, but instead that path led us into utter darkness, step by step. And in the end, the entire kingdom sank beneath the waves, as though it had been smote by divine judgment. No. I fear that even he did not foresee such an outcome, though all the same, that is what happened. If you have anything you'd like to ask me this time, I shall tell you all I know. So tell us about your impotent friend. Right, and he called you Cassador or something, right? But aren't you called Ura something? Just as I have transversed many bodies, I have had many names. Of course, this is all thanks to the Sabotage who separated my soul from the grand symphony. A convenient ability indeed. But back to Boethius. He was not always evil. He was once a noble Harmust of Romeria, and the sole survivor following the great catastrophe that befell. The original purpose of the Golden Castellum was to unify our surviving kin and prevent the catastrophe of the rising waters from ever occurring again. But evidently, Boethius had his own designs. While I and my companions ranged across the land, struggling mightily to contain the power of the primordial waters, he used his eloquent tongue to sway those who remained. He initiated a fell ritual that aimed to restore the shattered symphony and revive the ruined realm. To this end, he did not hesitate to dissolve the will of our kin and plunder the souls of Fontainians everywhere. Many rulers and nobles became his pawns, and polities newly born lay on the brink of destruction. To stop him, who had by now clearly become a monster, I could only forsake my name and become one who hunts phantoms, resisting him alongside the Fontainians. Bitter was the conflict before we were at last able to seal both him and the sea that had devoured our nation. And that is why he names you, traitor. I followed the Sabotage precisely because he had shown me that golden dream, a land where prejudice and difference was no more, a land of justice and freedom. But that was what it had become after Rumeria sank. No more than a dream. I would rather be called a traitor than let Boethius trample on our ideals. I swore upon fate that I would serve as the barrier between past and present. Thus did I become the spirit keeper of our ancient land. Guess Mr. Impolite's a pretty stubborn guy, huh? Even after being beaten up and sealed, he's still looking to break out and cause trouble. I had thought that even if evil lingered in him, his soul had long been broken and he would remain naught but discordant notes, a symphony plunged into strife. I never thought that he would weave his shattered self into the symphony and thus gain mastery over it. The discord and dissonance that now emanates from these waters can be regarded as an extension of his power. If we are to defeat him, I fear we must await the moment when all his soul fragments have gathered around one body. If you have anything you'd like to ask me this time, I shall tell you all I know. Let's hear about the symphony in Phobos. Where should I even begin? The symphony is human memory and persona woven into a melody through musical notation, creating a song in which human souls can dwell and have their wishes fulfilled. In that way, to master the symphony is to master fate. This is the secret that the great golden bee Sibila, the prophet who survived the previous cycle, imparted. The Sabotage, who created the symphony, poured these melodies into the insoluble ichor in hopes that all might control their own fates through playing that music. He overestimated us, I fear, for his deeds terrified us. The people could not bear the burden of fate, and they begged their god and superiors for guidance. At the request of the people, the Sabotage wrote all melodies into the grandest of melodies. This new symphony would bring us all the greatest of happiness, and its name was Phobos. But it did not bring what was promised. Indeed, you saw how it all ended, didn't you? Had the Sabotage's plan worked, the symphony would have woven a melody of utmost gentleness for all of us, an eternity that would last 1,000 years and beyond. But something went wrong. Besides, the Sabotage himself only said Superius, the Harmost, would have changed Phobos' melody. And Boethius was once an excellent Harmost. If you have anything you'd like to ask me, this time I shall tell you all I know. So about the dreamscape I saw. You tell of the strange dream you saw before. Ah, yes, those were indeed the memories left by whom I served, the Sabotage, the god King Ramirez, though I do not understand how you were able to see them, traveler. But I do not think you need to worry. If this chaotic symphony was enough to control you, it would have done so long ago on the surface. It has not happened, yes? Speaking of which, why is Estay affected? Is he just, especially gifted? I do have some idea, but it might be best to wait for the right time to speak of that. Oh, here we go again with the cliffhangers. Just don't forget to tell us, all right? In any case, since you can see these things, traveler, that means that some fragments of the Sabotage's will and memory remains in this underwater symphony. Long millennia have I searched, and if you could touch some more of those memories, perhaps I may find the answers I have sought all this time. The great waves could not hurt a god, even should their crests scrape the very skies. And yet, the Sabotage disappeared without a trace when our nation fell into the depths. He would not have sat idly by as his nation and people drowned in blood. So, where did he go? Or was his passing Ramirez's true death's knell? If you have anything you'd like to ask, this time I shall tell you all I know. That's all for now. We can leave the rest for later. Very well. If there is anything else you wish to know, do not hesitate to ask me. Guess we're heading to Domus Uria next, so we can meet that rude guy, right? It's gonna be dangerous for sure, but... I will continue to guide you. It is, after all, my homeland. Though it may have sunk to the very bottom of the sea, I remember its past still, even after all this millennia. Or so I believe. Just don't let us down when it counts. Should we encounter difficulties, you may count on me. Do not fret that I am far stronger than any ordinary cat. You know, every time Paimon remembers that you're an actual ancient person from thousands of years ago, it just feels wrong that we're calling you Osi. But your full name is way too long, so... Okay, let's just call you Monsieur Os, then. What do you think? Is it polite enough? A name to me is nothing more than a label, but as this represents your acknowledgement, Paimon, I will gladly accept it. Let's move out. It wouldn't be too bad to keep your rude friend waiting, but the townsfolk can't wait that long. Really now, not even a trace of civilization remains. Well, no need to wax nostalgia then. Let's just get through this place first. That strange glowing fish. Paimon's never thought we'd run into it here, too. Whoa, looks just like that glowing fish we saw before. There are still weird things tangled around the top nearby. What the heck is going on? Paimon's getting more and more confused. I've heard this voice in a dream before. I can't remember his name anymore, though. Yes, you must have met him in the Sabotas's dream, did you not? Skyla, a fell dragon who once served the Sabotas. He was subdued and sealed here by Boethius. Eh? Mr. Super Root subdued an evil dragon? Paimon didn't think he could do something that amazing. Well, Fell Dragon was the name they gave, but it was no more than a bishop that was a teensy bit stronger than normal. After all, no new Hydro Dragon could be born as long as the mistress of many waters hibernated in the deep seas. Speaking of which, isn't Nouvelette? That's right! Nouvelette's the Hydro Dragon, isn't he? That doesn't mean that this guy's way older than him, does it? A new Dragon of Water has already been born? Then again, it has been a long time since even the former Mistress of Many Waters passed. So much time has passed. In any case, the evil dragon Skyla was once the Sabotas's friend, but he revolted at a critical juncture in the showdown between us Rumirians and the Fontainians. At that time, Skyla led the brutal Dragonborn into Machismo, intent on breaching the inner city, Taplium, where the Sabotas resided. Machismo? Yeah, the people in town were always talking about Machismo, and A bell tower or something. Correct. Machismo is the outer city of the capital, but should the fell dragon wish to enter the inner city, he must pass through the Initium Iani. That is the barrier separating the inner and outer parts of the capital, and the symphony weaved by the Sabotage and the musicians which covered all of Rumeria passed through the Initium Inani and Golden Waterways. Boethius and his legions used this fact to shut the Initium Iani, thus finally sealing the evil dragon. Something's not right about that story. The dreamscape from before, back then. Skyla should have come and seen Remus before. Perhaps Skyla sought to go before the Sabotage's throne, but such an opportunity is now forever lost. Afterward, the evil dragon sank alongside Rumeria, and the Sabotage too was lost, remaining so to this very day. Did you recall something, traveler? It all feels a bit muddled. That is true. I only heard tell of events after it had all transpired myself, having not been in the capital when the disaster struck. Then, none knew just what had happened to the Sabotage. I fear that we can only learn more by proceeding further. The large, glowing fish that we saw in the castle must be the thoughts that escaped from fissures in Skyla's stony cell. I fear that he has already taken notice of our presence. Having been sealed here for so long, now that he's finally sensed outsiders, he will naturally find a way to lure us in. So, that's it. Hang on a minute. You said that the way to Domus Aurea is through those gates or something, but hasn't Boethius shut them already? Doesn't this mean there's no getting through? This will prove quite tricky, yes. Ah, there's gotta be a limit to how rude you can be. What's with this, I'll wait for you in Domus Aurea, mwahaha? Nonsense when you won't even leave the door open, huh? You know, why don't we find some way to break the seal on the evil dragon and get the former foe he beat to break the door down for us? No, how could we do such a thing? I mean, after that is one of Rumeria's nemesises. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend, no? That's right. It's been so long, for all you know, he might have decided to turn over a new leaf and be a nice dragon. But he's still a dragon. Come on, so what? Even if he is a dragon, he might be the reasonable kind we can talk with. We've got experience in dealing with dragons, don't we, traveler? Well, there was that time with Dvalin. Yup, that bit where he kicked up a storm in Mondstadt while under the influence of a curse. We had a big fight because of it, too. Those examples weren't very convincing, were they? Come on, OC. No amount of suspicious looks is going to suddenly give us better options. I know, you're right. Let's give it a try. The seals that bind the evil dragon seem to be connected to 3 locations. Let us begin by removing the change in those 3 places. Looks like there's a lot of golems here. Careful! Wow, they're coming right at us! Dominus Cassador! Dominus Cassador! Is that you? It is you! Just as I thought! You finally returned! I was ordered to guard this fortress, but the cruel bishops and attacks of the barbarians were simply too much for me, so I was forced back step by step until I arrived here. It seems as though many, many years have passed since then. What tidings from beyond? Were we victorious? Is that so? Then we lost. I am sorry. Do not say such things, Honored Dominus. I have already imagined this day might come when I join the Sabatos' legions. Did the Sabatos not say that he wanted to lead us to break the shackles of Fortuna? But is doing so that simple? After all, what we struggle against is fate itself, and divine fate is a feat beyond even the greatest of the gods. In the end, all our efforts were in vain. Nay, say not so, Dominus. We took up arms against divine destiny, and our deeds challenged the laws of heaven. We resisted that prophecy, resisted it most valiantly. Though we failed in the end, someone must have betrayed us, led us astray. Still, the outcome no longer matters. Come what may, our deeds shall be carved into the world's history. Why did he just fall over like that? Can stone people also just suddenly faint? I still do not know his name. It appears his history has now reached its conclusion. Wait, that's so sad. Has he just been fighting here all these thousands of years? But now he is finally at peace. Let us continue onward. Quickly, undo the chains here. Hey, you. Yes, you glibbering imbecile. Why do you delay? Even if we waste away, the treasure won't move itself, surely. Nay, sir. It's just that they are simply too heavy. We've been at this all day, yet there's still so much left. Where, then, is the intrinsic merit in feeding that prodigious size of yours? It's treasure, you brute. Treasure! Of course it's heavy. Besides, we confiscated all these treasures from those accursed barbarians, did we not? Leaving such wealth in the hands of those insects who live like swine and mongrels would be a terrible waste. But sir, don't you think we should have brought a few more ships if we wanted to haul all this back to Remeria? What, are you slow? Imperial cargo ships are not to be used for such a thing. Well, why don't we destroy what we cannot carry? Better than to having it fall into the hands of these savages. Is it just Paimon, or have we heard this conversation before? It's that bit with the treasure hoarders all over again. Yeah, those unlucky adventurers we drove off before were saying similar stuff. Feels like this round's worse than the last, too. Is it possible they were turned into golems after the boat they were on sank? That's so creepy. Are you of Legio 9? What are you doing here? Should you all not have been ordered to retreat to Fort Charybdis? Hey, Estee, don't you dare ruin our fun, you hear? These barbarians are less of a threat than dead fish anyway, so just let us have our fun messing around here for a while longer, would you? These treasures... I don't know what orders your Harmos gave you. But did the Sabatos not order us to subdue these ignorant tribes and free them of fate's shackles? Those orders do not include such clearly criminal deeds. Ha! Surely you jest. The orders of our commander, mighty Dominus Boethius, were indeed to punish these savages harshly. And besides, we have received no punishment. That means that both Phobos and the Sabatos, our imperator, approve of our actions. So, what's all this talk about crimes? And are you trying to start trouble? But... there's another Estee here. Well, aren't things getting weirder by the moment? It appears that it's time to answer that question of yours. The Estee you met in town must be a descendant of Remerians. His ancestor must have followed me to join the new nation all those years ago, becoming an ordinary Fontainian. As such, the symphony that has stolen those Fontainian souls would not affect him, but in turn, the melody that records his ancestors' memories had nowhere to go, and so attached itself to that statue. So you mean that the Estee here is Town Estee's ancestor, the real Estee the quick-witted? What about the others? Just wandering souls, lost in their memories. Let us go have a look. You walk up together, Monsieur Os. Hello there, Estee. Yes, hello. And who are you, exactly? You do not appear to be Rumerians. Are you savages, then? Oh, I'm just a passing traveler. Well, this is a battlefield, and you put yourselves in great peril. You should leave this place, regardless of who you are. Estee, it is I. It has been a while. Skies above! It's you, Dominus Cazador! You so rarely appear in this form that I almost failed to recognize you. And as for these two, are they your attendants? You can just take that to be so. Still, Dominus Cazador, what brings you here? Did the Sabatos not send you to damnation? I can't remember. Am I in some dream? That does seem to be the case. Simply you jest. The Sabotage must have assigned you some secret mission again, or else I am an ignoramus. You guessed correctly. Speaking of which, why are the Legionnaires of Legion 9 guarding those chains? The chains? You mean the treasure, yes? I believe them to be spoils of war. Though the Sabotage views war as naught but a sad necessity in fulfilling our grand aspirations, and has long outlawed such brutal behaviors. You know as well as I that they have become commonplace nonetheless. We are on the path of darkness, though none perceive it. Dominus Cassador, what has happened? Phobos was meant to bring us happiness, but all I feel is pain I cannot name. I, too, am searching for the answer to that question, but it appears we will have to deal with the problem at hand first. Indeed. Still, those are our Legionnaires, so let us solve things peacefully, if we may. Ahem. Legionnaires of Legio 9? Huh? Who are you? Estei's little helpers? We are Cassador's retainers. That's right. Dominus Cassador's retainers, that's who we are. It seems you two have quite the penchant for acting. Dominus Cassador, you say? I heard that the Sabotage had sent him to Memoria. Has he returned so soon? Well, the one next to us is, in fact. Whatever the case, we have come to survey the frontline legions. Right, I figured as much. I mean, we haven't gone to Fort Charybdis with the main body of troops. But we are the rear guard, so some final cleanup is well within our range of duties, eh? Is this also a command from Phobos? Well, it should have guided our every move, but since coming here, there have been many times when we could not hear its melody. As such, we've fallen back to Dominus Boethius' directives. The Sabotage does not permit the harm of innocent people. Innocent, you say? Yes, he did task us with helping these vulnerable humans before the war began. But our actions have the tacit approval of Phobos. Could its decree ever be in conflict with the sacred word of the Sabotage? Yet you are not receiving the melody. Well, that is true enough. But in what can we place our trust if not Phobos? Surely it would not stand idly by were we to diverge from the correct path. Phobos is a perfect creation. I counsel you, as a Remirian, to not doubt its directives. Perfect? Nothing is truly perfect. What are we doing now? Defeating sophistry? Take it up with those musical erudites in the capital. A soldier's duty is to obey. Complex matters are not my strong suit. Very well. You speak true. We must reconsider our actions. In truth, I do not know how things came to this. There's been a strange feeling in my heart since this war broke out. We were meant to pursue freedom and happiness, but Phobos led us here instead, step by step. Has something gone wrong? What could it be? If you meet with the Sabotage upon your return, please apprise him of our circumstances and our doubts. You'll be doing us truly a great favor. Don't worry, we We will. At least we finally got those two to withdraw. Now none shall stand in the way of us removing the chains here. God King above, thank you, Dominus Cassador. In any event, it seems the issue has been resolved for now. It seems that you resolved our previous problem. I suppose that means you'll be rushing ahead towards your next goal, then? Yes, I'll be counting on you to take care of this place, Estee. Also, remember that it is better to trust the wisdom of your heart rather than handing all judgment of right and wrong over to Phobos or any Harmost. The Sabotage created Phobos to free us from our servitude to destiny, but the people's blind faith has led us into enslavement more frightful still. In the future, you may encounter a similar choice once more. I hope you will make the right decision when the time comes. Dominus Cassador, why are you suddenly speaking of such things? Still, I shall keep your words in my heart. I, Estee, shall uphold my own sense of justice. That is good. Farewell, Estee. I believe we shall meet again. It looks like it's been entangled by some kind of strange plant. Seems complicated. The ancient creatures within this region of water have been under the continental influence of the golden melodies. We can use the power of the symphony to interfere with them somewhat. Oh, you gods, shut tight the brass gate, the heavenly city. The sword of Remus has cut the threads of fate, and once land and sea alike have been conquered, all that shall remain is the path to the skies. Imperator, Imperator, are you all right? Are you dreaming again? So noisy. What's going on? The people have gathered in your great hall. I believe they had questions for you, Imperator. Recently, the melody of Phobos has been interrupted many times, and so they have many concerns regarding this. I have no choice but to do this. I trust your wise judgment naturally, and I have heard something of the recent happenings. Is something wrong with Phobos? Phobos has planned routes for everyone, such that humanity as a whole can attain happiness. There should be no issues, not when we have the aid of Sibula's nearly limitless power of calculation. But I heard the cries of sorrow within the music. Did someone secretly alter the music score of Phobos? No, none can do that except myself and the other Harmost. Could it be that the prophet had hidden something from us? Impossible. Has she not already sacrificed her very life for the cause? The veracity of her prophecy has been validated by the Mistress of Waters. She would have harbored no such selfish designs. Or perhaps it is precisely because she had no desires of her own. Today, all people rely on Phobos to make judgments and decisions for them. If something were to go wrong with it, the citizens would fear that all would descend into chaos. I need you to go to where those clinging to blind faith are. For this reason, I must grant you free will. Is that to say you wish to separate my melody from the grand symphony as a contingency against mishaps? No. It is still too early. I fear my soul is still unable to withstand such great fate. I believe in you. But from now on, you shall no longer be part of we. I understand. I have resolved myself. If this is your wish, Imperator, I shall see it done. Aranopolis, the city of the future. Call yourself by this new name. After has departed, you passed through golden corridors, and the sounds of people and debate grew closer. The area grows quiet, but only by a little, when you reach the central podium of the main hall. Oh, great Sabatos, please give us your instructions. Many have been unable to hear the Phobos melody as of late. The people are frightened, Imperator. Frightened and confused. Our grand plan was proceeding as normal. The barbarians skulking in the shadows were being eliminated one by one, and the polluted waters were cleansed by Iker. Yet, my Imperator, you plan to call a halt to our noble war without cause or reason? Why have you done this? I exercised my own judgment in the matter. Great Sabatos, I do not mean to challenge your authority, but I believe that you have shown them sufficient mercy already. We have brought glorious harmony to the land. The gates of Remeria are open to all who wish to join in our golden order. What have they done? They have destroyed our towers and slaughtered our musicians. Their blighted souls are unworthy of any salvation. We cleanse their barbarous lands with blood, and order and salvation shall sprout after the destruction. For such ignorant savages, this is the highest mercy that can be granted them. This is not what I want. But there should not be even a sliver of shadow under the sun. Is that not also your great ideal? If I may, Imperator, I believe this is the wish of all citizens of Remeria. Sabotage, please give the order. Defiled are all who dwell in Capitolium. If blood will not wash this land clean, how shall guiltless flowers again bloom? What's going on with you, traveler? Now's not the time to rest. Hurry up and unanchor these shackles. You saw it again, didn't you? The Sabotages. All the chains have been broken. Now then, time to check things out at Nishiyamiyani. Such warm ocean currents, free at last. Well now, little ones, hail you from the surface. I know not for what reason you have come to this deep water prison, but... We aren't little anything, you're just too big. Very well. Either way, you have broken the shackles that have bound me for millennia. That places me in your debt. If there is any undertaking in which I may aid you, then speak. Consider it a token of my gratitude. Paimon knew you'd be a reasonable guy. Anyway, Paimon's name is Paimon and he's Traveler. And this is... actually, Paimon's not sure what you'd know him by, but we call him Monsieur Os. Ah, Cassador, it is you. It has been a while, so you came back after all. But still, you are sadly late. By a few thousand years, no less. Oh, looks like the big guy knows you, Monsieur Oz. I have nothing to say to despicable traitors. Speak not so rashly, mortal. We are dragon-born. We keep all our promises and betray none, which is more than can be said for your haughty race. Save your breath. It is worth less than a drowning mayfly. Your betrayal is undisputed. Were we not defeated in the war precisely because you turned against us? If we hadn't lost that war, our nation, the Sabotage, we wouldn't have... Ah, you have been gone far too long, Cassador. The truth is not what you imagine. Though I suppose that a secret plan would not have been secret had its details reached your ears. Secret plan? My leading an army of bishops to assault the capital was, in fact, Parma-Remus's final secret plan. And he did all of this to save his nation and people. A man of great moral character. Had he gone mad, too? Yeah, that is kinda weird. Why would a ruler ask someone else to invade their own country? And what, little one, would one such as you or I know of Remus's thoughts? Whatever the case, look upon this, Cassador. Even you should be able to divine its meaning. Guiding golden bees. They should only heed the call of symphony. Why would the Sabotage bestow his power upon a savage dragon? Because they had an agreement. Oh? You know much, little one. From where did you learn that? From the memories scattered in the sea. You speak correctly. Yes, indeed. We did have an agreement, but I failed him. I squandered his noble sacrifice. I could not make it to Dominus Aurea in time, and so the waves devoured the whole city, and my kindred could not escape either. How could such a thing be? If it is betrayal you speak of, then Boethius was the true traitor. Were it not for that lying devil, that deceitful rat, and his silver-tongued deceptions, how could a prince among dragonkin such as I, who once led our armies out to the age of the ancient dragons, have been defeated so easily? The devil first falsified claims to have given up resistance on Remus's orders, saying that he had ordered the legions to cease resistance. Yet when we arrived here, he suddenly rose up against us. Now that I've had much time to think on it, I fear he must have learned of Remus's plan somehow, and thus was able to set up such an inescapable trap, and lure me in step by step. And thus did my flesh and blood turn to stone, and thus did it remain for millennia, to this day when you rescued me. Boethius knew perfectly well what a massive calamity his actions would bring about, yet he still... Could he have been trying to seize control over Phobos? Was that why he committed such sins? It seems that we don't have the full story yet. So the guy who keeps calling others traitors was actually a traitor through and through. But why though? Ugh, are we gonna have to ask him? I'm on down so we get a straight answer. So that loathsome, recalcitrant demon worm has yet to dissipate, has he? Yeah, and he's stolen the souls of a whole bunch of Fontainians too. Rescuing them is actually the main reason we're here. He said that he'd wait for us within Domus Aurea. Well, he just said that he'd wait for Monsieur Os, so we're coming along uninvited. Not even leaving a door, though. How rude of him. The Inition Iani? Though feeble tricks and smoke screens have been set to dismay us, but at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a glorified stone door. I may have lost my physical body, but it is no great labor to take the little ones over to settle the matter. Watch closely, little ones. Ooh, you're pretty reliable, huh, big guy? Now we simply need to break these revealed seals one by one. If you are prepared, then let us go. Well then, Monsieur Os, are you ready? Now that it's come to this, we have little choice. All right then, what about you, traveler? Ready? Let's go. Should we desire to open the stone door, we must shatter the stone seals adorning it one by one. Step back, little ones. There isn't much time. Keep up, little ones. Ooh, that was close. How dangerous. It is dangerous here. Stray not too far from me, for I shall protect you. Careful. That was close. Were it not for me being left when not with this tiny body, there would be no need to take such a road to the capital. So So there are other paths? But you just said that we had to come this way. Unlike you, I was once able to cross freely between different bodily forms. Well, as long as the body is repaired in the inner city, of course. Huh? So you could do that? That's pretty awesome. Oh, look! Paimon can finally see the exit. Ew, we're finally here. And there's Domus Aurea. It looks more like a giant harp, though. Why did your Sabotage construct it like that? It certainly seems well preserved. Yeah, nothing like the rest of the stuff we saw up there. Of course. This palace was fashioned from a giant ship. It was designed to be a titanic instrument on which the symphony was to be played. See those pipes extending outward? Though the symphony now lays broken, this was once how it would be broadcast to the four corners of the world. The whole palace is an instrument? The entire thing? Then wouldn't this entire water body start vibrating if it were to play? Might get blasted apart like tofu if we get too close. Well? What is tofu? Wait, you never had any OC? Then it might be hard to explain. We could always take you to go have some next time. Wait, can cats even eat tofu? The Eternal City, indeed. Remus's will protects this place still, just as I expected. No wonder that brazen, shameless traitor has endured even till this day. I imagine that Boethius owes his survival at time's erosion to having laid low in the palace for all these millennia. And over those long years, he gradually mastered the power of Phobos. Well, now that we're here, we should meet up with that rude guy. He might just be shocked to see us for all you know. In that case, let us part ways for now. Huh? You're not coming along? You've been a great help already. And I was pleased to be of aid. But to tell you the truth, I have no desire to see that one ever again. I wish to never again hear a word from that devil's mouth. His words are a sham, and shameful are his lies. See that you do not fall for them. Besides, I could not help you even if I came with you, for I am but a temporary occupant of this ichor-made body. Were battle to be joined, I would have no recourse. Not that I would mind terribly, but no gain would salve the loss of his seizing the symphony that Remus bequeathed unto me. Let us part here for now. Though I cannot aid you in battle, I can use the currents to send you hints. Come to me should you need such aid. Regardless, let us meet again once you have vanquished that traitor. When the time comes, perhaps I too shall have the chance to make amends for my past regrets. Cassador, dear friend, I knew you would come. Ah, and the uninvited barbarians. When it comes down to it, you're not the boss of this place. Besides, it was Osi who brought us here. That counts as an invitation as far as Paimon's concerned. Really, you're the discourteous one here. Exactly. And we've heard all about it, you know. All the bad stuff you've done. Silence, you noisome, obstreperous insects. I am speaking to Cassador. Do not interrupt. Traveler, Paimon, I'll take care of this. Boethius, I have come as promised. Honor your pledge and relinquish the souls of the surface dwellers. They do not deserve to suffer this unforeseen calamity. The grudges between us should stay between us. You call this unforeseen? Have you not looked upon our kindred? They lie trapped in these lightless waters like walking corpses. Are they not supposed to walk upon sunlight shores? If my brief internment to surface folk souls is a disaster bereft of rhyme and reason, then what would you call the millennial long suffering of our kind? Listen, and listen well. The judgment of the surface peoples has only just begun. No, the one who imprisoned them was you, and it was you who turned our kin into monsters. We once had a choice. As long as we discarded our old grudges, the Mistress of Waters agreed to accept us into a new nation. But you used them, took advantage of their pain, their trust in you. You turned them into tools for your ambition. That was their choice. They chose the old order, not the honeyed death you brought. And just as they gave unto us the conducting batons, the sabotage bestowed upon them, so too are we duty-bound to lead them unto the correct path. How dare you swagger, you shameless traitor! You who betrayed the Sabotage's trust and led our nation to ruin! Ha! I hear that vile dragon slander in your words, and you would believe a foe of our nation rather than your kin and comrades? I serve no god, no king, only mighty Rumeria and our noble ideals. Remus proved unworthy to reign supreme from the moment he uttered that perverse command, and so there are no traitors. If anything, it was I who rescued our nation from his error. He concluded with our foes, commanding the vile Drake to flatten our cities. He even attempted to destroy the Great Symphony, which would have consigned us to live under Fortuna's yoke once more. How could I have stood aside and done nothing in the face of his madness? And so you betrayed him. You shut the Initiate Iani in the end. Phobos' power went under control, and the royal palace sank into the depths. Will you not open your eyes to the truth? It was Remus who betrayed us, betrayed Phobos. That was the true prelude to tragedy. I have already spent thousands of years struggling to recreate the symphony of the past, weaving the broken melodies together in the deep waters just to recreate what you hear now. No, in your hands it has become harsh and discordant voices of agony and hate denouncing your violence. And who decides what is harmonious or not? It is not absolute power. Remus bent the knee to the savages and arduous dragons precisely because he failed to comprehend this. But it matters not. This inverted world shall soon be righted, and I shall become the new Sabotage. That is impossible, Boethius. You are but a mortal human. Humans can never become gods. But Cassador, you forget. Was Remus's ideal not for all humans to become gods, to seize their own destinies? Do you not remember? Did the rites we researched and recorded in the Golden Castellum not chart a course to that very destination? But we did not then know what lay beyond. Had we known, those thousands of years ago, Times have changed. Things are different now, Cassador. Join us. My preparations are complete. Only together can we accomplish this deed. I have rid my soul of all impurities, obtaining a true will. The stairway to heaven is but a single step away. I merely need to gather all wills that have been scattered throughout the waters. Yes, even yours, which Remus personally severed. Two minds shall merge into one, and thus shall Rumeria be whole once more clad in immortal form, infused with refined steel and stone. No. We shall take on flesh once more, and a new Sabotage shall be born. But not only that, I shall also gain that which even Remus could not attain, the power to change the very essence of this world. I will turn back the wheel of fate, usher in the old world's return, and bring justice to the land. The surface dwellers shall submit to our will, as they must. It shall be as the hymn says, and when they use their will to command, the rest shall bow down and listen. You know I will not acknowledge you. You have defiled his ideals. I will uphold my own justice. It matters not. You will understand once you enter Phobos' melody, then you shall join me. This? Domus Aurea? Have I entered Remus's memory again? No. The atmosphere. It's different from before. Welcome to my palace, Outlander. My symphony. Boethius? Do not be startled. Have we not met aforetime and more than once? Whether through my phantom in the real world or in the memory palaces Remus left behind. But this is no phantasma of Remus's memory. This is my symphony, my golden stage. I knew it. Wails of sorrow ring off every wall. Is that so, Outlander? I not know where from whence you came. It seems you are not a human birth from the primordial waters, nor are you any surface being at all. I cannot see the color of your soul, nor can I touch it. Nevertheless, this is not your war. My vengeance against the surface dwellers is none of your concern. I know not why you hinder our work. For the justice in this world. Justice? You can't actually be serious, can you? You may possess power that even I cannot perceive, but you would be naive, Outlander, to think that brute force alone will defeat me. I have long become one with the symphony that fills these deep waters, even if you should destroy my physical form, so long as the agonized waters flow, and so long as the memories of vengeance do not fade. My will shall not perish, and I shall remain a nightmare that haunts this world. Unless you choose as Cassador, as that stray cat did, exiling oneself to become the jailer of the old world, but I do not believe that one so distinguished as you would do so. Forsake that superfluous symphony of yours. Should the guilty not be punished? Is that not justice? Guilty, you say? They are innocent. No Fontainian is innocent. They are the spawn of our barbarian foes. Their ancestors seized from us the realms that should have been ours by right, and they must pay the price for that original sin. Have you anything else to say, Outlander? From Monsieur Os. But can your short friendship surpass the span of our kinship? Cassador and I, we were new humans crafted by Remus's own hands, and we are the final survivors. Compared with our other kin, his soul is like insoluble ichor. Other than myself, only he has true will, and only when we are combined can we become a complete self. So too are our wills one. The opera's final act shall see him return to us. This is his fate. Have you anything else to say, Outlander? Say the people of Petrichor, those people. They are neither your kin nor your subjects. On the contrary, so far are you above them that they may as well be ants. Perhaps not even that. The weak should submit to the strong. Is that not the law this world should follow? And yet, you say you will protect them. Is this your boundless mercy, or simply folly? Since you insist on sabotaging my plans, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to stay in my palace for a while longer. I cannot detain you for long, of course, but it should be long enough. Let us meet again when I become a god and sit upon the Sabatos' throne. For that, let my little ensemble occupy you for a time. Traveler, fear not. I wish to aid you. Traveler, I found you at last. And you are? Cassador, you mean. I believe you might have met me in the Sabatos' memories, though I suppose this is our first time meeting in this manner. Time is short. Maintaining this form in Boethius' symphonic palace is no easy task. Let us keep this brief. Where are we exactly? This is a space created by Boethius, the manifestation of his soul. It is maintained just as the Sabatos' memories you entered before are, by the grace of the symphony's might. So, just now? Yes, he used the music's power to pull us in. I suspect that the Domus Aurea is too close to the heart of the Phobos, allowing him to directly influence the present world. If we truly allow him to obtain power that surpasses reality, he might even pull the entire... When that happens, his delusions will replace the real world, and Fontaine will revert to its appearance from thousands of years ago. Just like what happened in Petrichor. No, I suspect it would be worse still. Will he really become a god? That depends on your definition. It is not hard to give shape to false fantasies, but he will find transitioning fate futile. Were it truly that simple, then those thousands of years ago, we would have already succeeded. All he can do now is drag more innocents into the nightmare of his making, turning them into walking, corpse-like puppets. Then we must stop him. That we do, but that cannot be done here. You must return to the real world. In that case, I shall aid you. And what about you? Not to worry, he has no plans for me at the moment. As for me, I've just thought of a way in which we can destroy him utterly. He has prepared a mighty form for himself in the real world and plans to initiate a ritual within Domus Aurea that will have him take on flesh. As long as we can get him to lower his guard and gather the symphonies scattered throughout the deep waters into that body, we can seize that opportunity to destroy both him and that body. That will put an end to everything. Only you can do this, traveler. Phobos' melody does not sing of your destiny, and Boethius cannot influence your soul. You are the exception to all that is planned. Perhaps that is why the Sabatos guided you here. Go now. My strength will not hold on for long. Let us meet again in the real world, and we may yet bring an end to this long nightmare. You finally woke up! Paimon was worried sick. She thought you might have had your soul eaten by that jerk, just like all the townspeople. I'm fine, Paimon. You better be. After you passed out, Boethius and Monsieur Os disappeared along with that wave of sound, leaving Paimon all alone here. And then, this big guy came along. Not that he helped much either. I fear that was not up to me. I am but a soul that dwells within the Ichor, and though that Remus did give me his final symphony, but to wield its power against Boethius is a different matter. Anyway, Paimon's woken up and seems okay at least, but where'd Monsieur Os go? Boethius? I saw him. You tell of what happened within Boethius' soul palace. Huh? So Monsieur Os is in there alone? He seemed to have his own plan. Don't worry. Regardless, should he prove correct, then we still have a chance to defeat that shameless devil. But first, you must enter Domus Aurea. Well then, big guy. What are you looking at me for? Didn't you once lead a host of dragons to attack Rumirian's capital? Getting us into Domus Aurea should be a piece of cake. You have many ideas for one so small, little one. Still, this shall not prove as simple as you think. The chief strength of Dragonborn lies in our powerful flesh. Embedded into Ichor as I am, all that remains to me is but the feeblest of wills. Destroying the Initium Iani exhausted nigh all my power, and Domus Aurea, defended by the symphony's power, cannot be compared to gates of mere stone. Wait, then aren't we fresh out of options? Are we really just gonna watch while the Boethius guy eats Monsieur Os up? Peace, you rash little thing. I merely said that I was powerless, but it is not so for you. The power of the symphony defends the palace. That same strength can be used to break it. But the symphony that I can wield is... Yeah, that super powerful Phobos thing is protecting the palace, right? How can we possibly beat it? If you cannot beat it, then simply borrow what you need from it. Once upon a time, the will of Phobos flowed through golden aqueducts into every corner of Rumeria. Though these paths and pipes have been destroyed, if you can connect the section that lies before you once more, the great gates of Domus Aurea shall surely open, just as they once did. That is what is written in the symphony, after all. Sounds like it's worth a shot. I too made some discoveries while searching for anything Remus might have left behind. It appears that this devil has yet to join some fragments of the symphony to his music, and they are scattered in this part of the sea. Come with me. If we can find them and use their strength, we might yet reverse the flow of time and return the aqueducts to their original form. Ooh, that sounds kinda promising. Let's get a move on, then. Illuminate the horn to awaken the score engraved here, and allow the actors on the stage to return to their proper places and unleash the power of the symphony. The rest is in your hands. Alrighty, looks like the waterways are connected. Next, we should go back and look for that big lunk. Paimon wonders how Monsieur Oss is doing. We've gotta hurry up. Huh? Traveler? What's going on? Is it happening again? I had a dream. In that dream, even mortals had free will, and their fates were uncertain. Ha! It truly is difficult to write beautiful music. Time to wake up from the dream. Rimus, I must remind you that, in my view, both your kingdom and the symphony you composed are now beyond your control. Though I have never expected much from those creations by the usurper of many waters and nurtured by yourself, the extent of their degradation is shocking nonetheless. The civilization created by you and your subjects shone brighter than all others in the world, but naught remains now but deep, impenetrable darkness. The atrocities committed in the name of civilization and order were far crueler than even pure barbarism. Even the most savage and violent of bishops would never engage in such meaningless slaughter. I am perfectly aware of all that you say. You know, and yet you remain indifferent. Or are you powerless? No. You could easily destroy those mortals who deserve punishment if you so wished, but you cannot bring yourself to do it. You love humanity. This is the curse you bear as an usurper. It is time for me to depart. I will not aid them in butchering innocent mortals, but neither do I harbor any desire to stop them. You once promised the usurper of many waters that you would use the pure water she granted you to create a world of endless prosperity, one without conflict. I followed you to the surface precisely because I wished to witness that future. But this is how it turned out. You have failed, Rimus. You could not defeat fate. Blood shall stain the high sea red once more. Such is the cruelty the heavens show to their creations. I have a plan. Oh? You always were one to have many plans, Rimus, but all of them lie in the dust now. Even you do not know where it all went wrong. Would you like to hear it, though? This will be the last one. I distinctly recall you saying the same thing when you persuaded me to lead the Fontaine. I'll speak now, before I return there to the side of the usurper of many waters. Fascinating, fascinating. Only you could be so toweringly selfish, yet so utterly selfless. You even took me into account, did you? Recklessness. How terribly rash of you, usurper lord of mortals. Still, your plot pleases me. The mere thought of leading my bishops and trampling your arrogant, foolish people underfoot brings me joy. But this shall be mere ceremony, just a show. Fret not, I shall be as you said, merciful. But if you do this, your life as a god shall come to an end. There will be nothing left but the symphony. Have you considered this fully? Of course, of course. The box of horrors that I open, so too shall I shut. Good. Then I accept your proposal. If the time should come, I shall join my strength to that of your symphony. Phobos's chains shall be broken, and your people shall once more be free. In that case, please accept my final symphony. The city built by the harp was toppled by the piping of reeds. That which the heavens had in store for us is a fate that balances good and evil. Did you see Remus's memories again, traveler? It wasn't another one of Mr. Evil and Rude's this time, right? Even in dreams, that jerk's just super irritating. I think I know what Remus's plan was. We must destroy the Phobos. To accomplish it, we will need to play Skyla's symphony. What's with that all of a sudden? What did you see in the memory? Fascinating. Remus's power lingers still in the deep seas and is not dispersed, and I, too, am here at last. Do you know what that means? The conditions have been fulfilled. Indeed. That is why I have come here with you, to make amends for millennia of regret. Now the final question is Phobos. Wait. Paimon's confused. What are we using the music for? It's nice that you understand each other and all, but you're leaving Paimon out. That's unfair. Tell her what's going on. The final symphony Remus gave me, or the Requiem, is an order for Phobos to self-destruct. He was to sacrifice himself to unleash the symphony's power, and it would fall to me to control the primordial, savage energies that he would awaken. That was how he would free his subjects from their stone bodies and give them back forms of flesh and blood, destroying the artificial barrier between races. He once instructed me not to reveal this plan to any of his subjects, for it was only by making them realize their limitations that prejudice and arrogance could be set aside. It appears, however, that you have pieced together his plan through the memories he left behind, traveler. So that's what happened? But his sacrifice was wasted in the end. Perhaps, but now that my soul has been freed, there is a chance to make amends. The lost souls of Remus's former subjects remain imprisoned in their statues. If we defeat that monstrosity, we can use the Requiem to give their souls release, allowing them to return to the high sea, to the eternal cycle of life and death. That way, I may consider myself to have fulfilled his wish. Perhaps that is why I came here. Indeed, Outlander. Perhaps that is indeed a fated encounter. how the ichor dazzles, just as it did millennia ago. This must mean that the time has come. The gates of Domus Aurea shall swing wide open, just as they did when the golden waters rang with song, in the days when the melody of the fellow would flow from this place to all lands beyond. Ah, I can hear it already, that beautiful music. Let us play it together, traveler, Paimon. Then you shall gain access to Domus Aurea. You pass through the gates of Domus Aurea, accompanied by a golden melody. Phew, guess we're in. Well, that was tough. That said, this looks more like the guts of some giant machine than it does a palace. This place is very familiar. Is this the place you saw in Remus's memories? So that's why that Mr. Super Rude bad guy also wants to... Ugh. Things are gonna get ugly if he succeeds. We don't know what's become of Monsieur Oss either. But we've got no choice but to keep going. Persistent garbage. Did you repair the broken aqueducts to celebrate my birth as the god of ancient days? I must warn you, my new world requires no such things, nor will I require ships. For all shall find eternal happiness within my symphony. We're about to add some end bars to your score. That's right. Best to admit defeat now and release everyone's souls, and also hand over Monsieur Oss. Cassador has already agreed to join this grand ritual. He has returned to Rumeria's embrace. All wills belong to Rumeria shall merge into one body. Where now is your friendship? Was it not merely your own presumptuousness and inflated sense of importance? Monsieur Oss! Just trust me. This was not a part of the plan, but I acknowledge that you were sufficiently qualified. In that case, come, bear witness to the birth of a new world. What? How? Why can't I control this body? Castador, you... I have you at last, Boethius. All your will is here, and Phobos also. This time, there is no escape. Why? I am Harmost, the conductor of the symphony. How did you... Have you forgotten? Before the Sabotage cut me away, I too was a Harmos. And now that I've returned to the symphony, you are the sole conductor no longer. So you agreed to join me just to lower my guard, only to betray me once more? Me and Rumeria both? Think of our kin, tragically imprisoned beneath the waters, at the torments they suffered for millennia. Will you truly destroy our cause, obliterate our final hope, for the sake of those who scurry and crawl on dry land? You are the traitor here, and the one who imprisoned our people. That is why our nation fell to its ruinous fate. The justice that our Sabotage, the Imperator, gave unto us, that golden ideal, was for us to follow the melody of our hearts and obtain the freedom to grasp our fate. We did not wish to be judged by Fortuna, much less to become your slaves. After Phobos was shattered, the people should have gained their freedom. If not for your deception, their nightmare would have ended long ago. Rumeria has not fallen. With Phobos as its guiding star, it shall rise again. Though rock and metal may crash and clamor, humans cannot live without water and soil. No power, however great, that tramples upon the value of life has any meaning. Are you not human yourself, Boethius? We Rumerians were all ordinary Fontainians once. Though we forsake our flesh, wrecked with pain and weakness, and gained immortal forms, we still have mortal souls, mortal emotions, and mortal frailties. But we forget that. We forget where we came from. Believe ourselves superior to other humans. That is why Rumeria fell. Do you remember my words, traveler? Now is the time. Lay your delusions aside, Boethius. There is still time to turn back. Why, Castador? Why? You betrayed me once more. Betrayed all of Rumeria. Oh, Paimon's kinda dizzy now. Castador? Traveler and Paimon, I didn't think we would be able to meet again like this. You're Moshier Os? Whoa, Boethius is here too. He's not gonna try anything funny, is he? No, wait. Are Paimon's eyes deceiving her? What's that thing floating over there? You see it too, then? That being that hovers behind the illusion of Boethius. You found me, I see. No illusion is it that you see. You gaze upon Boethius in truth, for I am, in truth, Boethius. Of course, I am not only him, but you also. I am every melody, every movement, every thought. I am the sum of all souls. I am Phobos. This does not include you children from beyond, however. You are not part of us. Phobos. So, the great symphony that governs all has a persona? Phobos, or should I say that which was once Sibylla, was originally a survivor of the last deluge that swallowed the earth. Sibylla's wish was to grant happiness to all in the world who were called humans, but she had no persona, and her strength was insufficient. Thus she entrusted her wisdom to Remus, and with the addition of the power that Remus possessed, the symphony was created. That is to say, me. No. How can this? So, the music we have played all this time, and the fate we accepted, it all came from you? Yes, it is me, but it is also all of you. I am also you all. I am the aggregate of all your wishes. Eliminating our enemies, destroying other lives, destroying cities and villages. Are those also our wishes? Precisely. That's what you wished for, and so I responded. Plunder, hatred, slaughter. These two were part of your wishes. Is that not what it means to give everyone happiness? Preposterous. Don't be absurd. That's just twisted and wrong. No, those aren't our true wishes. The arrogance and hatred that festered within us warped you, turning you into a terrifying monstrosity. Such things will make no one happy. Not us, not any living being. No wonder you led us to destruction. The Imperator himself must have sensed it, and that's why he... Remus, yes, he did attempt to destroy me. But why? Without me, all of you would once again have been plunged into confusion and agony. So for all your sakes, I had no choice but to... Wait, what? What do you mean to say that Boethius, even then, had already? Yes, that must be it. We could never have gone against the Sabotas's commands unless the very symphony had rebelled against him. What of Boethius? What have you done with him? Well, he's become us, of course. Or, put in a way you might understand, I ate him. Ate him? Oh no. But that was also his wish. One only I could fulfill. I'm sure that it made him most happy indeed. So that's why Boethius became your puppet, and why he did all he could to engineer your return. It's all for the happiness of you, for everyone. No. It is time we put an end to all this. I have trapped you in this body. There's no way out. I shall destroy you utterly. Is your wish to disappear together with me? Will that make you happy? But I can't fulfill that wish. I am Rumerian no longer, and I cannot become Fontainean. I already chose my fate when I agreed to help the Sabotage attain his wish. So yes, this is my wish, the reason for which I have wandered this world. I will end this millennial-old nightmare. Now, Traveler, Phobos and I, destroy us both. But I am filled with joy, traveler, for I have just learned of the Sabotage's plans and hopes. The Imperator aimed to free everyone from the Symphony, from hatred and strife, through his sacrifice. Even to the last, he desired to save his people. Now, I shall fulfill the wish he could not see through. This is our final chance, and only you can help us seize it. That is why the Imperator, why fate brought you here, my friend. This is our final chance, traveler. Do not hesitate. Take up your sword and bring all this to an end. This is the fate I chose long ago. Monsieur Os, is that you? It's finally over. It seems that I shall soon fade. Cassador. It's all right. I have finished walking the road I was meant to, and fulfilled that which I was meant to fulfill. This world shall no longer have Cassador, nor shall it have the Golden Hunter. I am certain that the people of the present world shall continue to live normal, happy lives. But... Traveler, Paimon, you have my thanks for accompanying me up to this point. My journey has reached its final destination. But yours has yet to end. Please, play the Requiem for me, and for my Imperator's wishes. Let our souls return to the present world, and return to the Great Sea. If water loses its clarity, how shall it become water again? If a tree leaves the soil, where shall it go to put down roots? Though rock and metal may crash and clamor, humans cannot live without water and soil. Perhaps we shall meet again someday, in a fertile land full of flowing water. Guess we can't call him Monsieur Os anymore. But Ose, that should be fine, right? Whoa, big guy, you scared Osi! You mean Cassador? No, that familiar feeling has disappeared. Where has Cassador gone off to? Has he returned to one of those stone bodies again? Cassador is no longer with us. Cassador, Monsieur Os, he disappeared, along with Boethius and Phobos. After explaining the whole tale to Skyla, you spend some time comforting Os. That's right, now, all that's left is Osi. Meow? Meow? Good going, OC. Guess you were just surprised by the big guy's appearance, huh? Who's a brave kitty, That's right, you are. So you vanquished that evil apparition, and Cassador was able to fulfill his own wishes? I am certain that his soul has returned to the deep waters and is now reunited with his kin. So long as we complete Remus's final symphony, we shall be able to send their souls back to the present, back to the high sea. Life flows like water. They will join the current, and one day they will surely be reborn as mortals. Well then, let us begin. Perform this final movement, this final requiem. After everything is over, you return to where it all began, the town of Petrichor. Is the symphony that Remus left to us finally coming to an end? We've completed the requiem, and the souls imprisoned in the ocean depths all seem to have left. The townspeople should be back to normal as well, right? Thank you both for completing this final musical movement, these wishes that have endured for thousands of years. Whether it was mine, Remiss's, or that of anyone who wishes to protect peace in this world. That reminds Paimon of Monsieur Os. Meow. Meow. You like that name too. We're not talking about you right now, though. His soul has returned to the high sea. There, at last, he can be at peace. I imagine that was akin to a release for him. As for my kindred and descendants, it seems that a new, true dragon has been born to us. Though, as one who was a prince among Hydro Bishops, I should go forth and seek an audience with him, though it is hard to say if I can still count as Dragonborn now. Too much time has passed, so much that little in this world has anything to do with me. So, what do you plan to do next? Well now, it was not easy to regain my freedom, so I believe I shall have a good rump underwater. After all, there are none who shall disturb me any longer, save you, perhaps. Hey, what do you mean, disturb? I jest. Still, are you not due to return to your own place? Let us part ways here, then. Or so I would say, but further visits on your part would be appreciated. I might get lonely now that everyone is gone, after all. Aw, you just miss us already, don't ya, you big lunk? See you around, big guy. Looking at you, even I begin to look forward to the future of terrestrial beings. Well then, until we meet again. Skyla leaves amidst the turbulent waves. Well, where should we go next? Oh, right. We should get back to Mr. Estee to tell him that everything's fine now. We did promise to, after all. And there's Osi, too. What should we call him now? This could get complicated. Anyway, let's get back to town first. Estee, we're back! Oh, if it isn't... Wait, no. Who are you? Huh? You can't have forgotten us already. We're Traveler and Paimon. Traveler and Paimon. I've indeed heard tell of these names, but I could have sworn I heard them in a dream. But you were definitely awake then, Estee. Also, while we were below, didn't we even see... I dreamed that everyone in town was petrified, turned into statues of stone, leaving me utterly helpless and alone. Until finally, two brave heroes came and shouldered the burdens of rescuing everyone. Could it be that it was no dream at all? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, after all, everyone's back to normal now, aren't they? But it seems as though everyone had some very strange dreams indeed. Just what happened? Could we all have been hypnotized en masse? Oh, it would take us ages to explain it all properly. Just forget about the hypnosis thing for now. Oh, speaking of hypnosis, you two even brought over a cat. It looks quite intelligent. He's even smarter than he looks. And moreover, he's our companion. but unfortunately, we can't take him with us on our journey. Well now, isn't that a coincidence? Our club just happens to have an open bed for cats available. It's been unoccupied ever since that hypnosis researcher went a-traveling and took his cat with him. If you two don't mind, leave him here with us. We'll take care of him. Though I can't quite put my finger on it, it feels like we're bound up together. Almost as if by fate. I'll help you take very good care of him indeed. The cattery is on the other side of the building. Just walk over and you'll see it. Hey, this'll be your home from now on, OC. Meow? Still, it feels a bit weird. Cassador should have already left here, right? So, who is OC now? Is it the original cat that hadn't been indwelt by Cassador? Or is it that Monsieur Os that shared all those adventures with us? Paimon's brain is cramping up. Paimon, you're really not suited to thinking about stuff like this. Paimon doesn't get it at all. Anyway, we found a new home for OC now, too. If we've got time, maybe we can come play with him. Meow? Meow.